Hi, I'm Michelle Werdeman, and I am here to help you navigate your life's next chapter through mind, balance, and wellness living. At every phase of our lives, through marriage, career changes, kids, and retirement, I am there for my clients emotionally to help create a personalized life plan. With my foundational coaching perspective and certified financial planning background, together we can create a plan for you through each chapter of your life. Contact me today through mbwliving.com for your free consultation. Hello and welcome to the Boot Camp for Your Mind podcast. I am your host, Michelle Werdeman, certified life, weight, and career coach and founder of Mind Balance Wellness Living. Welcome back, my friends, to episode number 10. Yay, like 10. That's kind of a big deal. No, thank you for being here with me today. You know what? Today is a great day. And really, in my eyes, it's such a great day. I woke up, it was quiet, and it was just peaceful. I looked out the window, and it had snowed, not too much snow, just enough to make things look pretty and enough for the kids to be able to play. And I just had this overwhelming sense of gratitude for so many things in my life that are going right and have gone right. And yeah, so I know that today's going to be a great day. And I had some really, really good calls with some clients. It's such a wonderful feeling when I get to see clients have breakthroughs. I mean, real, aha moments. You can see their wheels turning, and when they realize, what they've been after is totally possible, and it's their own brain that's kind of just been stopping them from achieving whatever it is that they've wanted. And some of you may know, and for those that don't, I created an online boot camp for your mind. And so, what does that mean? What is an online boot camp for your mind? Well, think about a boot camp class that you might have heard of or attended at the gym. And any boot camp that I ever participated in was really created to make you physically stronger, to test your limits, and to really push you past your comfort zone and ultimately become physically stronger. So my boot camp is designed with the same intention. Not so much necessarily from a physical standpoint, although some do bring, some physical goals to the program. My program is designed to increase your mental strength, to really work out your mental well-being. And when you work on your mental strength, you are able to change any area of your life that you want to. You learn to push past fear, past anxiety, strengthen your relationships, not only with yourself, but others. You learn to start making decisions without looking back. You take massive action, and you honestly learn to just do hard things. And a lot of the times we don't, take action is simply because of fear. And it's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of feeling a certain way. And this is why a lot of people actually will just kind of sit in indecision. They're afraid of making the wrong choice. And I pose the question, what if there are no wrong choices? Think about it. What if there were no wrong choices? Either things will go the way you want, or they don't, and they're just a lesson that you've learned. But when you sit in indecision, that's not productive. That usually just creates more confusion and more overwhelm and more ruminating thoughts. So in my coaching, you learn to not be afraid to feel difficult emotions. I mean, emotions are just feelings. They are vibrations in our bodies. And as difficult as some of them may seem, they don't last. And I talk a lot about emotions in a lot of my previous podcasts, but they're just that. They're feelings, emotions, they don't last. And in our boot camp, we practice being with and dealing with emotions. And some people will come to me because maybe they eat when they're stressed out or when they're sad, or some people drink or they shop. And these behaviors tend to make you feel worse after the initial kind of dopamine rush. But once that wears off, they actually feel worse. So learning to be with an emotion, it becomes easier and less powerful than the initial emotion in and of itself. It's kind of a really very freeing feeling. You're starting to give that emotion less power. And I've said this before, it's not about being happy all the time. That just isn't life. That's not reality. The point is to learn to not fear an emotion. When you can do this, the sky is the limit, my friends. When you are not afraid to feel, you can do and you will do anything basically that you want to do. And I want to share with you this quote that I read recently. I have this little daily quote calendar that I keep on my desk, and I love it because flipping the page over every morning to a new day and a new quote, it always makes me smile and really just kind of think. There are some that make me go, wait, what's that song? Remember the song? It was things that make you go, I won't burst out into song, I promise, but I digress. But no, here it is. Aim for the high mark and you will hit it. No, not the first time, not the second time, and maybe not the third time. But keep on aiming and keep on shooting, for only practice will make you perfect. Finally, you'll hit the bullseye of success. And this was by a woman named Annie Oakley. And I have to laugh because my son is funny. He always says, practice doesn't make perfect. It makes you better, which I actually really like that. He's a wise 7-year-old, that Jack. And actually, he's a hoot this morning. I got to tell you, I was rocking some serious bedhead, and I joked with him and my daughter. I went upstairs, I saw what I actually looked like, and I came down. I was like, nobody told me what what this looked like. He looked at me, and without skipping a beat, he said, I was too busy looking at your beautiful face, Mommy. I'm like, okay, sweet Jack, we're all in trouble. You're 7. I love him. But anywho, so this quote had me thinking. It had me thinking how much we can actually learn from our kids. So take a toddler, for example, a toddler that's learning how to walk. How many times a day do they fall down? Think about it. I remember watching my kids trying to walk, and seriously, at times it was comical because I remember the Frankenstein walk where it's kind of their arms are out and, they're swaying back and forth, and it was so cute. But you just looked in their eyes, and they might take a step or two and they'd fall. They'd get back up. They'd take another couple steps. They'd fall, and they kept, getting back up. And this happened, I don't even know how many times. But the idea was no matter how bumped, bruised, frustrated they got back up. And when toddlers are trying to learn to walk, there's no other outcome for them. They just know that the end mission is that they are going to walk no matter how many times they fall. They just keep getting back up. Their minds aren't filled with a bunch of negative self-talk or drama about, well, I guess, I'm never going to walk. I've tried, nothing's working. Something must be wrong with me. No, they're not thinking that way. They're just thinking, nope, got to get back up, got to keep going, because they don't have all of that mental drama. And somewhere between childhood and adulthood, we have started to develop this negative self-talk and self-judgment. We might try things and we don't succeed, for the first time, second time, third time. We stumble and we fall. Sometimes we get back up, but too often we just give up. And why do we give up? Why do we stop taking action? It's because of what our internal dialogue is that we have with ourselves. It's what we are thinking that is causing us to stop taking action. So earlier when I mentioned I had some really great calls with clients today that experienced these aha moments, I was able to show them all of the thoughts that they were experiencing that were ultimately holding them back. thoughts that they didn't even realize that they were having. And sometimes you really do need someone to point out to you and question your thoughts and your beliefs for you to realize like what you're thinking and what you are believing about yourself and the situation really isn't necessarily true. So I want you to think about like what's something that you're after or you're looking to achieve that you don't have yet. Maybe it's something you've tried to accomplish before, or maybe you're afraid to take the next step on something, whether it's a career change, a relationship change, whatever that is, and ask yourself, like, why don't you think you've achieved this yet? Why haven't you made any changes yet? Like, that will show you what the thoughts are that are getting in your way. And this month in the boot camp class, like, we're working on how to really make relationships in our lives thrive. And this is one of my favorite areas because relationships ultimately that we have with ourselves and with other people are just the thoughts that we have about ourselves and about other people. And it can be extremely, eye-opening, if you will, when you can start to realize the way that you feel about someone or yourself is just the way that you're actually thinking. And I'm super pumped for next month because it's March and we are going to be all about the money mindset. And, having spent close to 20 years in the financial planning industry, I am so excited to see where my members will actually take this whole money mindset and what they can create, because finances and money are a huge part of the emotional aspect, I think, that we all go through, whatever, chapter in our lives that we're in. So if you want to learn more about the Bootcamp for Your Mind membership, you can just go to www.mbwliving.com/membership. And I also invite you to join our private Facebook group, which is the Bootcamp for Your Mind. And that's where I offer some of the free trainings. I go more into, the podcasts, and I think you can get a little bit more idea of how it is that I work with my clients, because we would love to have you. And yeah, again, today is going to be amazing. So whenever you're kind of tuning in, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers and be well.
Michelle Werdeman is a certified life coach, now offering an online coaching membership to support brain power and mental wellness. It's important to exercise our bodies, but we have to exercise our minds too. Our thoughts are what ultimately create the results in our lives. And becoming aware of our thoughts is what we dive into through her Mind, Brain, and Wellness program. You can start to create your dream life today from the comfort of your own home and at your own pace too. Contact Michelle today at mbwliving.com.